Saiyans, Cobra Kai's, pumpkins who be smashing, and especially my Slayin Saiyans. I'm Asherella. This is original Asherella, and I unfortunately have some very somber, breaking, and heartbreaking news. Beloved creator of the manga and anime franchise Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, is dead. Akira Toriyama died unexpectedly at age 68, and that is so tragic. Now, anybody that has been around my channel or that knows me knows that the things I love to like hyperfixation. Like, if I like something enough to say I love it, like, I love it. I am ride or die for it. I collect everything I can on it. I know everything I can about it. And I have three main things in life, and that is the Smashing Pumpkins, the Lost Boys, and Dragon Ball. And, if you go back a few years on my channel, I used to do a ton of Dragon Ball content. That's really like most of what my early videos were Dragon Ball themed and or inspired. I love Dragon Ball. I can't get enough of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is like the supreme cream of the crop of the Dragon Ball franchise. But even like original Dragon Ball with like Kid Goku and GT, even though Akira Toriyama, he like produced GT, I think, but he didn't write it. And then, he was a writer for Super, like the newest, and then everything else Dragon Ball related. But yeah, like I love Dragon Ball, and up until, the pandemic, I was actually like really into cosplay, and I did a bunch of like Asherella as Dragon Ball characters. Like, I don't want to dress up like a dude, so I'm gonna be like future Trunks, but like Asherella as future Trunks. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like like a Majin version of a Saiyan, and I'll pop some photos up here so you guys can see some of my old Dragon Ball cosplay. But then the pandemic happened, and I kind of didn't get back into cosplay after things started happening again. But up until 2020, I used to go to tons of like conventions and expo. I've been to Anime Expo in LA. That's like the biggest like anime convention in North America, like anime specific convention in North America, and tons of others in the Southeast and all over the country, really. I love going to anime conventions and comic conventions and cosplay. I love it. I actually want to get back into it, and this actually might motivate me to, break out the Saiyan armor and stuff again. But yeah, I love Dragon Ball. It's just one of those things that I've always just fixated on and loved, and like the storylines and the character arcs. And one thing that I've always loved so much about Dragon Ball is like how all of the crew, like Goku and the gang, like Goku is fine, but Goku's certainly not my favorite character. I even have a whole video on why Vegeta is a much better character than Goku, and I'll pop that up. That's an old video. But like, aside from Goku, really, that all of the main, like, Z fighters, the main crew, they all started out as like enemies, or at least like adversaries. Like almost all of the main characters aside from Goku started out as like some type of villain. Like even Yamcha, from original Dragon Ball, certainly Vegeta. And Vegeta is the Prince of all Saiyans is the absolute best character ever, because he has the best story arc in Dragon Ball, hands down. He really does. And we can talk about that if you want to, and perhaps we will one day. I do have a video on it also. But, like Piccolo was an enemy at one point. Like everybody that is like part of the main, like Z fighters, the main crew, like at one point they were actually an opponent, a villain, an adversary. And I thought that was really unique how like Akira Toriyama was so good at writing these characters into good guys, and developing them into like somebody that you really had a soft spot for, and then ended up just being like part of the crew. But we are going to look at the official post from Akira Toriyama's social media, just so we can get all the details that we know and that we have. I've got a Goku right here. Where's my Vegeta that I keep on my desk? I knocked my shelf on my desk over the other day, so all of my stuff is around. You guys can't see it right now, but all behind my desk and my monitors and stuff is like Dragon Ball figures and like Monster High figures, and there's pumpkin stuff and everything. So yeah, it's very busy on the other side of this monitor right now. Where is Vegeta though? Okay, I got my desk Vegeta. Now I have a ton of Dragon Ball pops, but I have a ton of Dragon Ball everything. And believe it or not, my Dragon Ball collection actually rivals my Smashing Pumpkins collection in quantity and in value. I have a few, not this one specifically, but I have a few pretty expensive Dragon Ball pieces, or pretty valuable rather. And I have so much Dragon Ball. Maybe I'll do a video showing off all my Dragon Ball in the near future. But yeah, like, I love Vegeta. You know, Vegeta, like I said, is my favorite character, and especially Majin Vegeta. I've got the Majin in behind me, because there's just something about when Vegeta goes Majin that I find really compelling and really interesting. And even though, you know, he's supposed to be under this, like, you know, trance to be as, like, bad as he can possibly be, he still makes the decision to do things right. Yeah, he knocks Trunks out, but it's for his own good, you know what I mean? But even, like, if you watch my Rocket video, and I showed off what my, you know, Rocket video jumpsuit patch would look like, it has the Majin M in it. It's like a sacred heart with stars instead of roses, and then a Majin M in it. So, like, this is such a sad day in the world that Akira Toriyama is no longer with us, but I could yak on forever about how this is a tragedy. Let's look at Akira Toriyama's Instagram so we can see the official post. Akira Toriyama, 1955 to 2024. And you know, I think every photo I've ever seen of Akira Toriyama, he is smiling, like, just like that. So this is the official post from Akira Toriyama's official social media. Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma. He was in age of 68. This is translated, so keep that in mind. It's our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have had many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art in this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral service was held with his family and very few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolence gifts, visitings, offerings, and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Future plans for commemorate gathering is not decided. We will let you know when it's confirmed. We deeply thank you for your understanding and support as always. And that was released like March 8th. Like I saw it in the middle of the night last night. And so this is like brand new news today, even though he actually passed on March 1st. Those who might not be so familiar with Dragon Ball, like, you need to know that, like, in Japan, Dragon Ball is like what Disney is in, like, the United States. Like, Goku is basically like Japan's version of Mickey Mouse, and I mean that on a like a beloved level of like animated character. Like everything Japan, like even in the Tokyo airport, there is a huge Dragon Ball mural on the wall, right? The Japanese government has put money in on producing Dragon Ball movies. Like that is how much the Japanese are into Dragon Ball. And I mean, it's huge in the United States and around the world, but like the Japanese, you know, they like Dragon Ball is loved and beloved and is like, it is like the kind of quintessential Japanese pop culture thing. Like I said, in the same way that like Mickey Mouse and Disney is, you know, to Americans. And so I'm actually not that surprised that they kept his death a secret for a week and had like the funeral services and didn't make it known. I'm surprised the news didn't get leaked before now. They did a great job if that was their intent, but I can only see how, I imagine that people all over Japan and other Asian countries are going crazy right now with like memorial services and tributes and things like that. So if people would have known that Akira Toriyama had passed and that there was a funeral service being held, like his family would have not been able to get any like peace. They wouldn't have been able to grieve properly with like the crowds and the masses and the mobs that were there. So I respect the fact that they held the news back a week and are just now letting us know. It's so like God, it's so heartbreaking, and like, I don't know. I guess that is all I really have to say about it. Maybe Akira Toriyama is in Otherworld right now with King Yama, or, maybe he's hanging out on King Kai's planet or something like that. Maybe, like, one of the guys can do something, pull some strings and bring him back or something like that. I don't know. In Dragon Ball, there are possibilities. Death never means death in Dragon Ball. And even in the theme song, it's like nothing ever dies, it will rise again, and maybe, you never know. And then we could have like Akira Toriyama zombies, so maybe that's not a great idea. I don't know. Anyway, let me know if you're a Dragon Ball fan. What do you love about Dragon Ball? Anything you want to talk about Dragon Ball related? I hate to, be the bearer of the sad news, but I couldn't not address this, here on Original Asherella, because I am so saddened by it, and it is a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me. So that's it for today, guys. I'm Asherella. This is Original Asherella. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on ODYSEE, follow the channel. You can gently press the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, go to my social things and follow me there. The X thing, the Threads thing, and especially the Insta thing. Always tap in, never tap out, and don't forget to keep on slaying like a Saiyan.
All we have to do is go! Don't stop, we're in love now. Don't stop, there's so much to be found. We can't find